Welcome to another edition of Secular Sports, and not pretty for Big Blue this past evening as they lost to the Detroit Lions, who were coming away from a victory against the Arizona Cardinals in Week 1. Obviously, Eli Manning got put on his back all night with 5 sacks as the Giants lost to the Lions 24-10. And noticeable in this game outside of Odell Beckham's return, and thus making things a little bit better for Manning, was Brandon Marshall's lack of fit within this scheme of Ben McAdoo's. Right now, even if you don't include the drops, he's looking horrendous and looking like somebody who shouldn't be on this team anymore. He only has 2 catches for 27 yards in his first 2 games as a Giant. Just 2 for 27, and this includes 9 targets going his way. He was already having no chemistry with Manning from the beginning, and he still does that stupid show inside the NFL, which should have been canceled after Warren Sapp got fired. And then all of a sudden, you expect him to have chemistry with Eli Manning and thus improve this team? Are you joking? This offense is actually fine the way it is with Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram just, he caught 4 passes for 49 yards and a touchdown this evening, and he is the ideal number 3 receiver, and having those 3, and maybe even getting Rhett Ellison to chip in as a blocking tight end makes a lot more sense than what's currently going on right now with Marshall. I think that it would make sense for the Giants to trade Marshall. Just pull the plug, admit your mistake, and just move on. Move on. He's not going to get better with Eli the longer he is not just on your team, but the longer he does a stupid show like Inside the NFL. And clearly, Inside the NFL will talk shit about him after he goes, because they're not going to talk about what a bad thing he's doing for the Giants right now, or maybe even the Jets. They're not going to talk about what bad things he does as a teammate, considering the fact that he's on the show and they want amicability amongst themselves. But it's just that, like, if he's is this terrible, and he looks even worse than Mike Wallace did when Mike Wallace was a Viking, trading him to a team like the Ravens, where they could use a complement alongside Jeremy Maclin, or a team like the Texans, where Dwayne Brown, the Pro Bowl left tackle, is holding out for a new contract. The Giants could get their brand new left tackle, but give him a contract, and then maybe a lot more fortified, and not struggle as they have been with Eric Flowers. I didn't exactly pick the Giants to go to the playoffs, as I put all of my predictions on Twitter. I actually have the Philadelphia Eagles winning the NFC East, and that's the team that they'll be taking on this upcoming week. The Giants have already given up nearly 10 sacks over the first 2 games in this really young season, and I will not be surprised if they give up at least 3. If they give up at least 3 in this next game against Philadelphia, and since they're coming off of a 6-day rest period, and the loss is extremely ugly right now, it's not going to get pretty anytime soon. And it's away. It's away, and that's even worse. So, don't expect a turnaround. Don't expect Super Bowl aspirations. Just pull the plug on this season right away. And even though I felt that Eli Manning had some good throws, like an off-balance 12-yard pass to Sterling Shepard when he was about to be sacked, like the receivers in the last series dropped the ball on him wrongfully, and Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram was knocked down hard when he was about to get his second touchdown pass. This guy is too mortal to support now. It's over. It's over for him, and it's time that you find his successor in this upcoming draft. I mean, the offensive line may have been a problem when Kerry Collins last played for the Denver Broncos, but at least the Giants found their franchise quarterback, even if it meant playing Kurt Warner in the first 9 games of Eli's rookie season. Well, don't be so harsh on me, or don't make it feel so difficult when it comes to the Giants' imminent misery, because this team doesn't look one bit like a contender. It was already averaging fewer than 20 points in the final 8 games of the regular season, and had that playoff catastrophe against Green Bay. There was no point in having hope in the first place. As we possibly go into as we literally go into this upcoming game against the Eagles, have no hope. Don't get caught up in the rivalry hype. Just call it quits. Just call it quits, and you should beg the Giants to immediately call quits on the guy who is not exactly holding them back, but is not exactly making them better, Brandon Marshall.